Janice, there's another road accident that has occurred, and this happened on the Jiso stretch. We are gathering that one person has been confirmed dead, with 30 others sustaining critical injuries following a head-on collision involving two commercial vehicles at a Jiso Kapa in the Ashanti region. The accident occurred when a Ford vehicle and a Toyota Hiace minibus crashed, and circumstances described by eyewitnesses as severe. The vehicle involved were a Ford with registration number AW326421 and a Toyota Hiace with registration number AS355220. An eyewitness account indicate that the Toyota Hiace, which was traveling towards Kumasi, reportedly lost control while speeding and rammed into the Ford vehicle that was heading from Kumasi towards Ejisu.
Also, Alfa, the Ashanti Regional Minister Dr. Frank Amwakohni says the region is poised for a significant phase of accelerated development in 2026 as the government shifts its focus from stabilization to the full-scale implementation of key infrastructure and social projects. In what he described as a State of the Region update shared on his Facebook page on January 10th, 2026, Dr. Amwakohni announced the first quarter of the year will mark a decisive transition into rapid project execution across the region. According to the minister, 4 main priorities will guide the first quarter: initiating new projects, awarding additional contracts, commencing construction on newly awarded projects, and completing legacy projects already underway. He revealed that the government is preparing to roll out dozens of new initiatives, including the commencement of the 77 Get Fund projects and more than 300 districts Assembly Common Fund projects. These, he said, will be strategically distributed to address critical needs in education, healthcare, and local infrastructure. Dr. Amwakohni also highlighted the government's commitment to the Big Push Road Infrastructure Program in the Ashanti region. Among the major road projects expected to begin are the Outer Kumasi Ring Road, Ahonjo Santasi Dualization, the Accra Kumasi Expressway, the Agogo Mame Krobo Road, spanning about 124 kilometers, and several priority town roads in urban and peri-urban areas. So that is it from the office of the regional minister.
Okay, so let's see what happens. Let's hope and pray that all these projects will come on stream and will, of course, result in a facelift of the region, particularly Kumasi. I've seen something happening on the Santasi and Hojo stretch. We hope that because that stretch is always traffic prone. I don't know if you've monitored. Yeah. Anytime you use that stretch, there's traffic. Hopefully when this project is completed, it will deal significantly with the traffic on that stretch. It's bringing the time to 37 minutes to 7. There are lots of things that we need to talk about, including what the government has done that is clearing the energy or the legacy energy sector debt. Okay, or declaring the energy sector debt. We are told that government has paid a little over $1.4 billion to clear the energy sector debt. And according to government, that is critical to ensure that the sector is very much robust. So that as an end user, what you expect is sustainable electricity supply. By this action emanating from the government, the expectation is that our energy sector will be much more efficient and we consumers will begin to have quality service delivery. So this morning, we'll talk to some experts about this and to look at the potential consequences of this action that has been undertaken by government. We are also learning that some parents are complaining that under the free academic user fee, they were expecting that this year government will pay the fees instead of government allowing parents to pay so that students will be reimbursed later. Well, this morning we'll speak to the PRO of the Student Loan Trust so that he will provide us with some important details to that issue as well. Plus, the debate or the campaign is still ongoing. The MPP, interesting things been said. Yesterday, we heard from Professor Frimpong Boateng describing the MPP as a fake political party. Guess what, Charlie? He said the party currently is fake. And if they vote for Dr. Muhammad Bawumia, then they should forget. The party will be in serious difficulties. Well, this morning, all these and more we'll talk about right here on the show. So you want to stay with us, and you can do it with us this morning. And you can send us your WhatsApp messages on 05939329993, and you can also send us your voice note on that same number. We've really not started yet, so nothing is there are lots to come, so you want to stay with us. And after this breather, we'll get straight into the conversations. Janice has some message for us she'll bring to us, and then of course we'll get into the serious analysis. Stay with us.
It is finished. Nina song. Maestro da babano. Nina bo. Mr. DJ. Wamujumi bina. Daddy lumba bueno. Yedi bet me meswana meko. Denyi da monjomana. Daddy lumba bueno. Akwanu me anube. Memreswa namiko. Jumani di baby ba. Ami munjumi. Papa masamni. Mama sama na walkeyo. Na wa dropi. Ndamabuama. Bounce no on the machine. Osama. Upiaka de jema benye. Mabuama. Bounce no on the machine. Osama, upiaka de jema benye. So beating it onto Ada. Sana Samtu.
You're listening in color. Orange 107.9.
It is finished. Nina song. Maestro da babano. Nina bo. Mr. DJ. Wamujumi bina. Daddy lumba bueno. Yedi bet me meswana meko. Denyi da monjomana. Daddy lumba bueno. Akwanu me anube. Memreswa namiko. Jumani di baby ba. Ami munjumi. Papa masamni. Mama sama na walkeyo. Na wa dropi. Ndamabuama. Bounce no on the machine. Osama, upiaka de jema benye. Mabuama, bounce no on the machine. Osama, upiaka de jema benye. beating it onto ada da 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 sana samtu da da teleris no ibi na militio abra boy okun jerry akamenko enyi bi enyi yanko amotenya my school oboju ba so paddle no answer Jumia, first day I'm at the Busia, Shazamina, Moshaya, Simeumuda. Finally, DJ dropper, Namabuama, Bounce and no the message. Osama, you black the Jimmy Mabuama, Bounce and no the message. Osama, you black the Jimmy. It is finished. Nina song. Maestro da babano. Nina bo. Mr. DJ. Wamu dumi bina. Daddy lumba bueno. Yedi betu mi meswana miko. Denyi da monyo mena. Daddy lumba bueno. Akwanu me anube. Memreswa namiko Jumani di baby ba Ami munyu Papa masamnyo Mama samana walkeyo Na wadropi Ndamabuama Bounce no de mashe chirukine Osama Upiaka de jemabenye Mabuama Bounce no de mashe Osama, Upiaka de Jemabenye.
It's 46 minutes after 7, and this is still the Orange Sunrise on Orange 107.9. It is finished in the background, but we are yet to start on the show actually. We have so many things to talk about, just like I said. We need to talk about what's happening in the energy sector. Yes, we all want sustainable electricity supplied onto it. The government sets that by clearing the energy sector debt. What they are aiming at is providing us with sustainable electricity supply. So this morning we'll talk about that. We'll look at the numbers, we'll look at the figures, we'll look at the consequences. And hopefully we'll engage some experts so that they can tell us exactly what this is going to do to our energy sector. And also this morning, the academic user fee was introduced to give parents and students some opportunity or some breathing space to take care of some cost as far as their university education or tertiary education is concerned. Some parents say, well, they understood the fact that it was done in a manner that requires the students or parents to be reimbursed later, but and that was the first step, but in the subsequent year, for that matter, this year, they did not expect similar situation to occur regarding the policy. They expected that it will be paid, or the student fees will be paid with the academic user fee fund. So they're asking questions. Well, this morning, I speak to the PRO for the Student Loan Trust so that he can provide some explanations to that. But before all of these, Janice, you have a message for us. Let's get into that message first before we get into the conversations. What do you have for us this morning?
Okay, Alpha, this morning I want to show you how you can get more excitement in your life. So if you haven't checked out the Betway exclusives yet, then you are missing out. These are Betway's very own exciting games like Soccer Striker, Fly X, Chicken Game, Spin the Bottle, and many more. And you won't find them anywhere else. They are quick, they are fun, and they are full of thrills. And you can only get this on Betway, so don't miss out. Log in today, play your favorite Betway exclusive games, and get way more excitement. And remember, Betway is regulated by the Gaming Commissions of Ghana. No under 18, and always bet responsibly.
So yes, let's start the conversation this morning. And Janice, we all got the news yesterday. I think it was even during the morning show when Evangelist referred to that, the news coming through was that government has cleared the energy sector debt. But a lot of us do not really know the details. So this morning, we want you to do us the honors of providing us with the details of this development. What actually has government done regarding the energy sector debt?
I think I should start by reading the press release that announced the payment of the debt. So it reads, the government of Ghana, under the leadership of President John Dramani Mahama, has decisively resolved the crippling energy sector debt that posed one of the gravest risks to Ghana's financial stability. When President Mahama assumed office in January 2025, the energy sector had been pushed to the brink by years of persistent non-payment of gas supplied to the power sector from the offshore Cape 3 Points field. As a result, the World Bank partial risk guarantee of $500 million had been completely depleted under the previous administration. The partial risk guarantee, established in 2015 under the previous NDC government, was a critical safeguard that enabled nearly $8 billion in private sector investment into Ghana's energy sector through the Sankofa gas project. It was designed to guarantee payments to the project partners, ENI and Vitol, in the event of payment shortfalls. Its exhaustion presented a serious governance failure that undermined Ghana's international credibility. In a clear demonstration of fiscal discipline and responsible leadership, government has, as at 31st December 2025, fully repaid $597.15 million, inclusive of interest drawn on the World Bank guarantee. This achievement has restored the facility in full and reaffirmed Ghana's standing as a credible and reliable partner on the global stage. Between January and December 2025, governments, through carefully coordinated policy actions, also settled all outstanding gas invoices owed to ENI and Vitol for electricity generation. These payments totaled approximately $480 million, ensuring that Ghana is fully current on its obligation to the Sankofa partners. Through prudent financial management, adequate budgetary provisions have been secured to sustain timely payments going forward. Government has also held constructive engagements with Tullow Oil and the Jubilee Field partners, agreeing on a comprehensive roadmap to guarantee full payment of all gas off-taken. This approach is aimed at supporting reliable nationwide electricity generation while accelerating industrial growth. Engagement with Ghana's upstream partners have already resulted in increased gas production, guided by a clear national vision to rapidly scale up domestic gas supply to meet the country's growing energy demand and reduce reliance on expensive liquid fuels. As part of its broader strategy, energy sector reset, the Mahama administration has successfully renegotiated all independent power producer agreements to secure improved value of money for the Ghanaian people. In 2025 alone, government paid approximately $393 million in legacy IPP debts, further anchoring the gains made in restoring stability to the energy sector. And then they also give us a breakdown of the payments that they made and to whom those payments were made to. And they go ahead to say, although the Ministry of Finance has paid approximately 1.47 billion US dollars in 2025 fiscal year to secure and restore Ghana's energy. Altogether, the Ministry of Finance has paid approximately 1.7 billion US dollars.
1.7 rather. Oh, I did see 1.4.
Yeah.
Okay, but
It's actually 1.47.
okay,
Yes.
1.47 billion
billion
dollars.
US dollars.
Okay, that's what the government has paid.
Has paid altogether
Wow,
in all.
that's a big deal. Oh.
Yes.
I see. So there are a lot of technicalities in the statement that Janice has read, but for a layman, the simple message contained in this press release is that government has cleared energy sector debt that has affected the energy sector for a very long time, and that's what they call legacy debt. And this, I mean, this goes as far back as, I mean, previous governments. Okay, so a lot of the debts that we've accrued, and it really was posing serious danger to the sustainability of the sector. So the government has thought it wise to clear that debt. Now, there are a couple of things that we need to know. You know that Ghana shifted from hydro to thermal. So we are doing a lot more thermal when it comes to our energy supply mix. Do you understand? Now, thermal needs fuel, and there are institutions or companies that provide us with fuel. Usually what happens is that when this fuel is provided, it takes a very long time for the payment to be made. These institutions, including Ghana Gas and what have you. Do you get it? So that's one part of the problem. The other part is that we have opened up the market for independent power producers to also come into the fray and produce power. So it's not just what government is producing, but there's also a part where independent power producers, and we are told that they produce up to at least half or 50% of our energy consumption. What it means is that they too, when they produce, they will need to be paid. And we've accrued that debt that government has, number one, renegotiated the debt with the IPPs, and have also made some current. What it means is that now we are operating on a clean sheet. So whatever is produced is what we will pay for. We are not going to make the energy supply situation much more efficient than having so much debt on your books, dealing with the debt and dealing with the current one and dealing with the ones that will pile up later. Do you get the point?
Yes,
So in simple terms, they have cleared the debt that was owed so that we'll stay current when it comes to our energy sector governance.
Okay.
You wanted to add something?
Yeah. So it does not necessarily mean that the government is not owing anybody in the energy sector. What they clarified in the press statement was they've
Negotiated.
invested
Okay.
money into the World Bank, the Partial Risk Guarantee Fund, which was totally depleted.
Okay.
So that in the case of shortfalls, the ENI and VTOL, they still have money to pay them.
Okay.
But then they still owe, the government still owes the
Or they still,
PP, the
just that they have
independent-
renegotiated the
Exactly.
debt. Okay.
Exactly. And then they've also indicated that the government has put in place a plan to pay the outstanding debts going forward, although they are still staying current on the invoices that these independent power producers are currently bringing to the government.
Okay, so that's what they are so we will speak to some experts so that they will help us with what this should mean to us as consumers of electricity in the country. What does this mean, and how would this affect the sector positively? We'll interrogate that very shortly. We'll speak to an official or an officer of ASAP so that will help us with this particular analysis. So if you're listening to us, Janice has already read to us a press release that was issued by government indicating to us that they have cleared the energy sector debt. There's some nuanced explanation to it, what Janice has brought to us. She said that, unlike what I suggested, that this included what was owed to the IPPs, there's still some debt owed to the IPPs.
Oh yeah, they made partial payments. So
they have
I think I should maybe give you the breakdown of the payments that were made. So the World Bank partial guarantee, they received $597 million from the government.
Okay.
And then they also managed to pay $480 million to ENI and Vitol, and they paid $393 million to the legacy legacy IPP debts. However, the government was owing more previously, more than the $393 million that was paid. I think they were owing about 1.4 billion something. Yeah, so they've made, so yeah, they still have some 700 million debt to clear off from the legacy IPP debts.
So it means a lot of the debts that were paid were the ones that were owed to these companies that produced or provided us with
ENI
fuel.
and Vitol.
Okay, so for the IPPs, they have made part payment, and they have also renegotiated the debt, so that the Ghanaian consumer will get value for money. And they have also attempted to stay current. So whatever is now brought to them, they will pay, and then they will deal with the other debts that are yet to be paid. So that's the summary of what the government has done. Just like I've said, we'll try and get connected to somebody who understands this situation better than we do, so that he will provide us with some to what you should expect, as a result of this action that has been taken by government. Don't forget that government has also introduced what they call waterfall mechanism, which allows the various players within the energy sector to be paid or to get based on structure that has been agreed on. Now, this is to ensure that there will be sustainability, and that we will not have a situation where huge debts are acute over a long while, and then government will be compelled to come and clear it. Now, they have a system where the debts that will be accrued frequently will be cleared. Okay, so you don't have a waiting period where it will be accrued to a certain level, and then you need huge investment. It goes $1.47 billion. It's a huge amount of money. Do you get it? So people are asking the sustainability. How do we ensure that we will not be recording or accruing this level of debt that will compel government to intervene? But then you have a structure that when, of course, the debts, when they produce the fuel, you pay. You understand? So
I think on that, they've indicated that unlike previously where they had the several bank accounts to receive the payments, now they have a centralized system so that they can account for every money that is
coming in and every product that is coming in that's supposed to be paid for.
But the Institute of Energy Security has also commended the government on the recent payment of debts in the energy sector, although they also raised concerns about the sustainability
of this, because it's like people feel we've been doing this. This is not the first time we are hearing that the government has invested huge amounts to clear debt in the energy sector. The question is, how do you sustain it? And that's what the institution you just referred to is also saying.
So that is what is happening right now. So I think right now the main concern is about how we are going to sustain this huge win, so that we don't
get into that
into the phase where we owe a lot of people money in the energy. But then I think that is good news for the Ghanaian energy consumer.
Yes, our expectation is that we'll have stable electricity supply. Right? Because at the end of the day, we are not really interested in debt, ENI. What we need is for the lights to be on. And so whatever government is doing, if it is going to result into that, then of course that's a good news to us. And to be honest, to be fair, over a period of time, we've had stable electricity. But for yesterday, I don't know for your area, but in my area,
Yesterday
light
I was
went
in
off.
church. I was in church.
You were
but
in
then,
church?
Yeah, the lights went off and came back on. It's
Okay,
true.
my area, the light went off. It went off around, I think around 6, and then it came back, and then went off after a short while, and then it came back later when I was asleep. It was later that I realized that the light was on. Okay, and on social media, I had a lot of people complaining that
Okay,
some
about the
part of
lights.
Kumasi went off
It was a
yesterday.
general problem then.
Yes. So for the consumer, what we want is that if indeed, and coincidentally, this news came in yesterday, and then the light went off yesterday. I don't know whether it's some local technical issue whatsoever, but what the consumer expects is for the electricity
Power
to be
stay on.
stable, because that's what is going to. I mean, that's what is going to be the anchor of this economy. Government said it wants to implement 24-hour economy. Imagine 24-hour economy without electricity. That would be beans, as we say it in the on the street. You cannot have a 24-hour economy without stable electricity. And as part of our New Year resolution, we say that we want to see more when it comes to the implementation of the 24-hour economy. So perhaps that's what informed government to say that, well, we need an anchor when it comes to the 24-hour economy, and that's stable energy or stable electricity supply. So then let's deal with this debt so that we have a much more efficient sector. So what the consumers are expecting, businesses, households are expecting, is for the lights to be on. You don't want
But
any.
I think overall the government should be commended
Absolutely.
on this.
Absolutely, because $1.47 billion, right?
And I was actually expecting West power outages coming into 2025 through
Why?
to 2026, because in 2024, right after the 2024 election,
Yes,
there
they
were
were
rumors
told that
of
fuel.
huge,
Yeah. The
Huge-
energy minister came to tell us that we had just two, and the fuel that was available could serve us for just 2 weeks or so. So there was even an emergency committee that was established by the chief of staff to look into how we can ensure that there will be stable electricity. That's a very good observation. I just recalled.
Yes. And
that,
so I think my expectations were a little bit lowered because they had alerted us that going forward, if people should expect some crisis within the energy sector. But I think overall, even though sometimes the power does go off, I think it's restored relatively faster. So I think it's very commendable.
Okay. So we'll try and go on to the telephone line and speak with an expert on this particular matter. He's a bit tight. I will try and do it within a very short period of time. So good morning and welcome to the Orange Sunrise.
Yeah, good morning.
I hope you're doing well.
Yes, that goes great.
I know that you are a bit tight, but we'll try and make it very fast so that you can go and attend to some other important matters. So we are speaking to, and please, you'll have to help me with the full name and the portfolio. I was supposed to have gotten that yesterday, but unfortunately, I missed out on that. So that. Hello.
Yes. Okay. So my name is Charles Ofori. I
Yes.
work with the Africa Energy Policy.
Okay, Charles Ofori. Now let's get straight into the conversation. Now, what's your initial reaction to what the government has done? We are told that some $1.47 billion has been paid to clear the energy sector debt. What's your initial reaction to this development?
Yeah, I think we were part of the renegotiation process, and as part of the renegotiation process, what happened was that there was some form of discounts that were given by the IPP, and it was conditioned on some certain kind of payment plan where the debts were going to be defrayed in intervals between 2025 and then up to 2028 within
Charles, please,
4
if you
years.
can speak a bit louder for us. It's like your voice is a bit down.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I think it's better now. If you can maintain it at
Okay.
this level, will be good.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yes, I was saying that there was some kind of payment plan that was placed for the IPPs so that these debts could be defrayed within a 4-year period. But while those debts were being defrayed, ECG was supposed to remain current, as in ensure that payments are made between from July 2025 downwards, so that there is no accumulation of debts. So what government has essentially done, in my view, is to ensure that it adheres to the payment plan that the IPPs and then the government of Ghana had agreed to. In addition to the IPP debts, are also other debts as well. The gas debts and the other payments that we need to make. So yes, I mean anything that has to do with debt reduction and to bring some form of confidence in the sight of investors is welcoming. I am just hoping that government stays current and then stays true to whatever obligations that they have to make in order to ensure that moving forward we don't incur any additional debts, and then all those legacy payments are made to ensure that there is a balanced approach within the power sector.
So does this mean that the energy sector debt has completely been paid, or we still have some debts that are yet to be paid?
It's quite tricky when you are dealing with energy sector debts because sometimes we are not so much sure of how much really is a debt. As I said, the debt can be graduated in various forms. You have the debts to IPPs, you have the debts to fuel, gas obligations, we have debts to everything. What I heard government indicate was that it had also ensured that all payments, the payment guarantees, the World Bank guarantees had been settled, and it gives us some form of investor confidence. So it's difficult to say that every debt has been cleared, especially if you don't have a very huge, a grand picture of the debts. So that is quite difficult to confirm